Yeah. So what about these new cruise ships that are just like cities,
They're
Like, what do you,
wild.
yeah. So what do you feel about the changes in the cruise
I
industry?
have mixed feelings. And this is just personal, but I feel like my best experience on cruise ships is for the smaller ones. Like, which is
Yeah.
wild. I say small as in like 3,000, 4,000 passengers,
No,
right?
but a lot
They're
of people
still
like that.
big.
Yeah. No, no,
No, we've
no.
heard that from a lot of people that they prefer the smaller, more intimate.
The coolest thing about a cruise, my smallest cruise ship I think I worked on was like 2,500 passengers. I knew all my passengers like names by the end of the week.
That's
We
amazing.
had like great connections. I recognized them. I saw them when they were getting off the ship, when they were coming back on. They'd be like, "Woo, Kaitlyn," or whatever name they
Yeah.
thought was my name. Woo!
Right,
And
right, right.
I felt like I kind of had that like relationship, and then you'd see them like 3 months later. So I got to see people like multiple times. Whereas I would be the biggest ship I work on, I think had like 6,000 to 7,000
Right.
passengers. They'd be like the last day, and I'd still be meeting people, and it just felt like more distant.
But also another thing with the small ships, a lot of the itineraries, you can get to more places with the smaller ships that like the bigger ships just can't go. But I do believe that the service too, like you said,
We used to do this thing, and a lot of MSC ships have done it, and it's like the final chow chow. We would come out as entertainers, and it'd be to like Michael Jackson's "We Are the World," and it'd be black on stage, but we had letters across all of our chests, and we would say thank you, and then we'd flip the letters, and then they would glow. So you couldn't see any of our faces; you just saw the words changing, and then it would say gracias, and then say grazie. We would try to say thank you in many languages, and it was like the most beautiful, like little wholesome little thing. Because people would be so ecstatic when they saw their language. Like they felt seen when we were saying thank you to, and they would like cheer. It was like the most rewarding feeling. Like you would have the hardest week, and then you'd have that moment where people were cheering and they want to take photos with you, and you're like, okay, I might have had a hard week. I might have been miserable half my week, but like I made their week. And it was like that little come around moment. And when you got to the bigger ships, all these people that they were there for the show and they still appreciated the gesture, but you didn't have any of that interaction that you did on the small ships.
I
So-
love that. I love more of like, the one-on-one, just get to know the people. And I just feel it's more of an intimate kind of service, It's definitely, those big ships, and they're just producing those ships too. In fact, I think MSC just came out with a new ship. It looks wild, and just the technology, just everybody's outdoing each other, from the entertainment to the technology to
They're gorgeous
experience.
ships. I don't know if you guys have ever been on an MSC cruise ship, but they are
No, we have not.
gorgeous. The most beautiful ships I've seen. I just feel like sometimes you got to work on the little things to make the big things worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.